I knew I liked Gary Oldman.
That is not good enough of an intro.
Fast women and slow horses will ruin your life. That's an actual quote. An old-fashioned quote. All right, so we finally started watching Slow Horses, which apparently has been a bit of a, I don't want to say phenomenon, but it's been a popular-ish show for several years now. When did the first season come out?
22 maybe?
So it's been 3 years, and we honestly I hadn't even heard of this
I hadn't either.
until I don't even remember how I heard of this. I think I like heard the title somewhere, and I was like, okay. And then I heard from somewhere else it was like a spy thriller series, and I was like, okay. And then I recently saw an ad with Ben Stiller.
Ben?
Ben Ben Stiller, and he was like making some joke about putting on Apple TV for his kids, and he was like, "What do you kids want to watch?" But they always want to watch Slow Horses. They never want to watch my show. I was like, "Yeah, that's kind of funny." It was an Apple TV advert because Severance is also on Apple TV. But then I was like, all right, we just watched the Bond movies. We just watched Day of the Jackal. I almost called it Tour of the Jackal. Although it was kind of Tour of the Jackal. He goes all around everywhere, doesn't he?
In Europe.
Right. He travels hither. He travels thither.
Mm-hmm.
Here, there, and everywhere. Anyways, after all that, I was like, okay, let's get into this spy thriller series. And we did. And Micah didn't want to watch it. She thought it was going to be dumb.
Did I?
Yeah, you weren't convinced after the first episode, remember?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
It was so long ago. I was a different person back then.
Yeah, that's fair. At the time of recording, we just finished season 3. We won't be talking about season 3 in this episode.
No.
We're going to keep it separate just so the episodes don't go too long. But this feels appropriate because season 5 is coming out.
At the end of this year, I think.
Yeah, yeah. So hopefully, when that's coming out, we'll be up to date so we can talk about it as it's coming out. But what do you think of season 1? Actually, we should probably tell people what it's about.
Okay. Tell them.
I've done all the talking so far. You go.
Okay, so the show is set in London. There's two different factions of MI5 going on. There's the Park, which is the mainstream jocks, if you will.
Yeah, the varsity team.
Mm-hmm. The A team.
Yeah.
And then you got the B team.
No, they're not even the B team.
No, you got
They're not even junior varsity.
You got the F team.
They're freshmen. They're the freshman team.
The failure team.
Yep, it starts with an F as well.
Yep.
The up team.
Nice. Over in Slough House.
Yep, and that's why they're called slow horses, because slow. And it's called Slough House because a slough is like a nasty, dirty ditch.
No, I didn't know that.
I think that's right. They made a reference about it in season 1.
And so one of the main characters, River Cartwright, was over at the park, and he failed.
Cartwright.
He messed up a training mission, and they said, "You're out of here, buddy." And they sent him over to Slough House.
Yeah.
Where Gary Oldman's character,
Jackson Lamb.
Yeah, is the head of
Slough House.
Yeah, of Slough House.
Yeah.
And season 1, some kid gets kidnapped, and MI5, the park, and Slough House are trying to find this kid because he was kidnapped by a terrorist group.
It's like a racist.
Are we allowed to
thing.
say that?
Yeah, I think so, because he's a Muslim kid, gets captured by a far right extremist group, and they're threatening to kill him. And the park and Slough House eventually are both trying to get this kid to save themselves, save their reputations, or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
So that's what it's about. And it's, what kind of show is this? I mean, it is a thriller, right? It's a spy thriller series, but it's not super action packed. It's very comedic.
I would say it's like an intense drama with British humor.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. It's very webby. I'll say that as well. By the end of each series, when all
season.
By the end of each series, like I said,
season.
Yeah, right. By the end of each series, when all is revealed, it ends up being quite complicated, and it definitely leaves you with questions, but it's just a fun ride along the way where you get to the end and you're not mad at the show. So you're trying to answer the questions with the spirit of grace in your heart instead of the spirit of fuck this show. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? And I don't know if anybody else feels like that, but if once I've gotten to the end of a show that I've really not enjoyed, I have so little patience for like unanswered questions that I'm just like it left this open, it left that open, and I don't feel like even trying to figure out the answers because fuck this show. But that's not how Slow Horses was for me at all. Like even though I had questions and still have some questions about how everything works in each season that we've watched, I still come away liking the show a lot.
I will say this show does not help my anxiety at all.
Yeah, it always ends on a burn, right? Or I guess the explosion. The show is a slow burn for probably each season is 6 episodes so far,
Mhm.
so it's probably a slow burn for 4 out of the 6, and then by episode 5 and episode 6, things start to like get kicked off.
I really like that there's only 6 episodes.
Yeah,
I think it makes the pacing really good.
yeah,
I think
yeah,
if there were 10 episodes, they would add just garbage
right.
and the pacing would be all off.
There's no fat.
No.
Yeah, it's pretty lean. Part of that is, it being as short as it is each season. That is part of what makes it feel confusing because it's just things are happening quickly, even though there's not a lot of action happening for the first 4-ish episodes. You're still getting a lot of information, and a lot of the web gets untangled per episode. So that's you're going to be left inevitably with some questions and some head scratching, but overall, it's just really good. These are all based on books. All these seasons are based on books as well. Did you know that?
Yeah. It
Okay.
literally says that
Yeah, in the beginning.
in the intro.
Should we talk about the intro song?
Sure, go ahead.
It's really good, right?
Yeah, let's move on.
Ugh, I guess Micah doesn't like it.
Tell them.
But it was written by Mick Jagger, who is, I don't want to get this wrong. He's 82 years old, and he started this 3 years ago. So he was 79 years old when well, maybe they had a year of pre-production. Let's say he was 78 years old when he recorded this song. Sounds really good. He's just got the kind of voice that, even if age makes it more imperfect, it still just kind of works for the style of music that he does. For anybody that doesn't know, I don't know how you don't know, but Mick Jagger was the lead singer for the Rolling Stones.
I thought you were going to say, for anyone that doesn't know, Mick Jagger sold his soul to the devil.
That's what Micah's dad would say, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, fair. Of course he did. Of course he did,
Yeah.
right? Anyone that's talented and made good music and made it, and if anything about their mannerism or their music was at all in contrast with those good old fashioned Christian values, must have sold their soul to the devil.
Mhm.
Yeah, it only makes sense. Okay, so what do you like about it?
Do you remember the joke? Not the bit. I don't even know what it's called. So one of the agents that works at Slough House, his name is Min Harper, and every time they get in his car, that song by Coldplay is playing.
Yeah.
What's it? Yellow? Is that
No,
what
the
it was?
scientist.
Oh, the scientist.
Yeah.
And the CD is jammed and the radio won't turn off and you can't change the volume. Basically, it's just playing the scientist on repeat anytime he's in the car.
Yeah. So good.
Yeah, so good.
So funny. Wait, was Cartwright breaking into MI5 and Lamb pretending that there was a bomb in the back of his car? Was that season 1?
I don't think so.
No?
Well, why would it be?
Mm. No, it was. Because Cartwright was going in get
Spider.
get that to Spider's office, and he found the file about how Taverner had met that, which guy was it, the dog that he sent to burn the laptop or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna have to address that in spoilers. I hope I remember that. Yeah, that was season 1. Or freaking Jackson Lamb rolling up to MI5, listening to the "I would walk 500 miles."
And he has a dozen guns pointed at him, and
Right.
he's just waiting to be let into the park.
Yeah. Yeah. So my initial reaction to Jackson Lamb's character was, "Oh, this guy sucks. Oh, he's gross.
Oh, he's so gross though.
Oh, but I don't like this kid." But like pretty much within the first episode, you're like, "Wait a second. He's my favorite
Well, and
character."
he has such good zingers. I wrote
Yeah.
down I don't know, I don't remember what this was in reference to, but I wrote down, "You need to hear this from me. Not an insensitive prick like him."
Oh, I remember that.
Lamb said that.
Yeah. 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 And
Even
he's
though
just
he's so rude and he's so mean, but he's good at his job when he wants to do it.
right. He was one of the best spies back in the day, back in the heyday of the Cold War, which that's a little confusing to me because the way that I understood it, MI5 is domestic intelligence. So it's like the FBI
Mm,
essentially, except I guess they're sort of police as well. That's probably the closest analogy there is that we have. MI6 is more like the CIA, where they do international operations and they have
mm.
agents embedded in other countries and whatever. So it doesn't really make sense to me why Lamb was an agent who worked in Russia. MI5 was tasked with domestic security and countering threats like espionage, subversion, and terrorism within Britain. So I don't know why they're MI5.
Maybe he switched.
I don't know. That doesn't really add up to me though,
Well, it's also confusing. Okay, well, I guess now that I'm reading this, it makes sense that they kind of have guns, but I was confused by that the whole time.
because they're law enforcement, kind of, right?
Kinda. It says MI5 is purely civilian intelligence organization that collects and disseminates intelligence to warn the UK of threats to national security. Shares its intelligence with local police forces like Scotland Yard, who then lead the investigation and arrests.
See, to when I hear that, to me it sounds like they shouldn't ever have guns. MI5.
Right.
So what gives? If there are any experts on this or anybody that lives in England that knows the answer to this, do MI5 agents carry guns? I guess these agents don't carry guns, really.
They just have them.
No, they a gun will show up at one point, but like for example, when Lamb and whoever else go into that house in season 1 without spoilers, none of them are armed,
Yeah.
and they're only armed after they find guns in the house.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
But at the same time, MI5 has its own like sort of SWAT response that are heavily armed.
Yeah. The dogs.
Yeah, the dogs, right. So like what's going on there? Is that real? Is that how it works?
I don't know. I don't want to ruin it
Yeah.
for myself. What did you like about this season?
I mean, Jackson Lamb's my favorite character. He's just degaffing it hardcore all the time. And he's trying to make everybody miserable on
Yeah.
purpose.
He like makes a comment because he's so rude. And people stayed late at some point in season 1 and he's like, "Why are you here late? I'm obviously not doing my job well enough.
If you want to stay here late.
Stay here after hours."
Right. Right. And then, I can't remember much of his zingers from the first series that aren't spoilers,
Why do you
but
keep calling it series?
because that's what the British do, and now it's like sort of infecting me when I'm talking about this British show.
Okay.
But he's just so funny every time he opens his mouth. Hearing that, he may sound like kind of an insufferable prick that you don't want to watch, but he's got these moments where you realize he really does care about the people that he's in charge of, the people that he's serving with, and that gives him a soft, squishy, sweet interior. Sort of like a warhead, let's say. Although warheads are not squishy on the inside, but sweet. He's very sour and just makes your face scrunch up into a puckered butthole on the outside. But then eventually you get to his core, and it's just a sweetheart, right, Micah? Wouldn't you say?
No. He's not a sweetheart.
Well, I'm saying at his core, he cares about people.
Hmm.
You don't think so?
No, he does.
What did you think of Lady Di?
She is interesting. I have a
Yeah.
lot to talk about in spoilers, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe this is hard to talk about without spoilers.
Yeah, every time Micah saw Lady Di, she said, "Conniving bitch." Just kidding, she didn't actually say that. But she is pretty conniving. But
Yeah.
they all are, they all work in intelligence. The kind of bummer is I feel like you really want to like and respect River,
Mm-hmm.
but he does things where you're just like, "Come on, River."
Like he's dumb.
Yeah, but then he does things where you're like, "Oh, you actually are capable." Well, okay. I don't think he does anything that's so dumb so far, at least in this series, where you're like, yeah, you really belong in Slough House. But he also just doesn't wow you. And I feel like I want him to wow me. I want to be like, yeah, put your faith in River. In River we trust.
Let river flow.
Right, let River flow. Really, Lamb is the only one that gets those moments where you're like, oh yeah, this guy is on top of his game.
Yeah, let's rate it.
Okay. So season one, I liked. I thought it was really entertaining.
Wait, let's do Parents Guide.
Yeah, this is not for kids. Tons and tons of swearing, and when it's violent, it's violent.
Like, yee,
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
It doesn't
Um,
happen super often.
but you'll get several instances per season
Yeah,
of violence that is kind of very violent.
yeah.
I would give season one. I think I would give it. What did I give White Lotus? I think I gave it an 8.5.
No, I think you gave it an 8.
An 8. So, okay. I recognize that White Lotus is probably a little bit more tightly construct. I don't want to say that either.
I feel like they had a bigger budget.
No, they definitely did. They have a bigger budget, so the production value is a little bit higher. White Lotus being the very simple story that it is, it's able to be a little bit tighter in the sense that there aren't holes and there aren't, things that leave you questioning. And I'm not saying that's true of Slow Horses, but Slow Horses definitely does make you scratch your head and makes you feel like you don't really have everything. And maybe that because you don't have everything, it's because the script is so spiderwebby that maybe the script doesn't totally have everything. So it kind of leaves you with that feeling a little bit, or at least it did me. Having said all that, I still like Slow Horses more than White Lotus, I think. So I would give season one an 8.5. Well, fuck me. Thank fuck you're here. I never would have thought of that. Out of 10.
Yeah, that's fair. This show, I think, does a really good job of building tension,
Yeah.
because it's a TV show, and TV shows typically everybody not all the time, but in like what am I trying to say? I feel like oftentimes the main characters, everybody ends up okay. There's sunshine and rainbows at the end of things. But this show gave me so much anxiety at times that I was like, how are they going to get out of this situation? How
Yeah.
is it going to be okay?
Yeah.
There were a couple of nights where we were watching and I was like, I have to go to bed, but we need to watch the next episode because I need to know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And it felt nice to have a show that I felt like that.
Yeah.
I mean, we've watched 3 seasons in what, a week and a half
Mm-hmm.
or
Been
10.
really good.
Yeah. So, I think I feel a little bit I think after watching season 1, I was like, "Wow, this is so good." And then we watched season 2 and I was like, "This is really good." And so I feel like I'm might be influencing my rating a little bit
On
because
the
of
season,
that.
on the next 2 seasons.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I know what's coming and I feel like it's hard for me to give it a impartial,
Yeah.
but I think I'm gonna give this an 8.5 also. An 8.5 Coldplay CDs
Nice.
out of 10.
Yeah.
Okay, so spoilers.
Yeah. One thing I like about this show is it's not afraid to kill characters.
That didn't happen in this
Yes,
season.
it did.
Who did?
Freaking Rhaenyra's friend. What's her name?
Oh, Allison.
Allison.
I forgot about her.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not afraid to kill people.
And it's, they leave it sort of maybe she's alive because she was sort of spirited out of the hospital. She was in a coma. and they don't know what happened to her, so maybe she's alive. I'm not holding my breath. I don't think she's coming back. But not just her, like one of the main people in Slough House is kicked out by the end of the season, never to be heard from again.
Oh.
The Scottish guy that wants to bond with everybody.
Oh yeah, I forgot about him.
So like, functionally, he was killed too.
Well, and they did kill someone also that worked in Slough House.
Right.
That was a double agent
Right. So
to the
like
park.
so like no one is really safe,
No.
right? You get the sense that maybe Jackson and maybe River and maybe Louisa are safe, but
Well, I think
I think that could change in a
yeah.
like I wouldn't be surprised if it changed in the next season.
Mhm.
So I really respect that. I think that's especially with a spy show and a spy show that Micah, as Micah said, likes to ratchet up the tension. That's a great way to make it feel like the stakes are real.
Mhm.
Yeah, we are willing to kill off these characters, by the way. We'll do it, unlike Yellowstone.
It was crazy to me how corrupt everything was though.
Hmm.
Because this kid gets kidnapped and you find out the head of MI5, second desk, is the one that set up the whole kidnapping.
Yeah, she set up a false flag operation so she could influence basically Parliament to give them more resources to hunt down these alt-right groups in England. Basically trying to prove that it was a big problem and they need to hunt them down now.
And so she had an agent planted in this terrorist group
Yep.
and he ends up dying.
Yeah, because it goes horribly
It
wrong.
goes so bad.
Yeah. I don't remember exactly the chain of events that leads to everybody figuring out what's happening, but the slow horses catch wind basically that this is a false flag operation that's gone bad. And Lamb knows that Diana is responsible for it. How does Diana convince him to go into the house to try and go get the kid out? Do you remember?
I can't remember.
Anyway, Diana somehow convinces Lamb to go to the house where the kid is being kept, and they arrive too late, and one of the kidnappers is an actual nut job, and he pieces together that the leader of their little kidnapping group is undercover, cuts his head off with an axe because that's what they were gonna do to the kid. That's what they said they were gonna do to the kid. Cuts his head off with an axe and then runs off with the other two guys and the kid. And they arrive. Jackson Lamb arrives in the house, and it's a shit show. And the dogs are about to show up, and Lamb knows this, and so now he's like, "Crap, she's gonna try and pin this on us now." So then they have to sort of go into the wind if they don't want to be arrested and framed for the kidnapping and framed for the, whatever. Very duplicitous. Everybody's very duplicitous, aren't they?
Well, okay, so then long story short, River and the other slow horses find the kid
Yeah,
and a helicopter shows up and is gonna kill the kid and the crazy kidnapper.
right.
They weren't gonna let, and the slow horses are like, no, he needs to go on trial
Yeah.
or whatever. The kidnapper,
Well, no, they
and
weren't gonna they
then
weren't gonna kill the kid. They were gonna kill the kidnapper.
isn't that what I said?
Yeah. You said they were gonna kill the kid and the
Oh,
kidnapper. They're just gonna kill the kidnapper. Right.
one of the kidnappers gets away and he goes to the docks and they shoot him and he was unarmed, and
Oh, and they plant
Duffy
a gun on him.
plants a gun on him.
Yeah. Yeah, because they don't at this point they don't know how much the kidnappers know about the agent that was planted in their midst.
And so they're cleaning
Yeah,
house.
they're covering their tracks. Really, Diana's just as bad as Tierney, isn't she?
Yes,
But for some reason, I'm rooting for her.
I am not.
Are you not?
No.
I want her to have the big job. Give her the big job. I mean, Lamb is the one that deserves the big job, right?
Oh my
So far,
gosh.
I mean,
It's
maybe
just disgusting though.
he's done some bad things too that we don't know about yet. And the other thing about this is, and this sometimes annoys me in movies and shows, but everything is connected. For example, everybody is put in Slough House for one reason or another. The reason that River is there is because he messed up an op, a training exercise. But you find out, well, let me set the stage so you understand exactly what the situation was. He's supposed to be looking for an Asian young man in an airport with a blue shirt and a white collar, so like a white button up over his blue shirt. And the person who's in his ear tells him, look for white shirt, blue collar.
So backwards, flipped.
Yeah, flips. And so River apprehends the wrong suspect, allowing the real, bomber, the real, I'm doing air quotes now, the real bomber to get away, and he messes up the op, and he gets sent to Slough House for it. Turns out he was actually set up by Lady Di because during another training exercise, River decided that he was going to tail Lady Diana, shadow her.
Why are you calling her lady though?
I don't know. He decided to shadow her without her noticing, and he did it so well, in fact, that he was able to catch her having a meeting with, I don't remember if it was the guy that went undercover
Yeah, I think it was.
to kidnap the kid. Okay, so he catches Diana meeting with this guy, and not only does he catch her, he took a picture. And Lady Diana found out about it and had someone give him the wrong information to have an excuse to send him to Slough House and, get rid of him, basically. So everything's connected, is what I'm saying.
Oh yeah, because that was the undercover officer.
Right. And sometimes that annoys me, but I didn't feel that bothered by it.
No, I kind of like it in this show.
Yeah.
I think it helps that it's so fast paced that you don't have enough time to think about it fully all the time.
Right. Right. Which maybe that's an indictment of how kind of goofy some of it is when you peel it back, but it's still just really entertaining, and it's written. It's definitely written, but it's written really well.
Yeah.
There's a scene in particular in the second season, so we won't talk about it really in detail here, but I paused it and I was like, this is how you write a good dialogue between two characters, like a sort of, it's almost like a dick measuring competition
Mm-hmm.
in a way. This is how you write a good version of that. And again, I compared it to Yellowstone. Yellowstone would have been just like, my dick is so much bigger than yours that I can pick my dick up and slap you in the jaw with it and it'll break your jaw. And then someone else will be like, yeah, well, my jawbones are so sharp that it'll just cut your dick straight in half. That's the kind of stupid shit that Yellowstone writes.
Did you think of that earlier?
That's no, I just made that up on the fly.
Oh, really? It was so good.
Yeah, you like
I
that?
would have thought that it was from Yellowstone. It was
Yeah,
written so well.
I know, right? But that's how Beth talks to people. She's like, she's so vulgar and so crass, and it's supposed to be so badass, and it's just not. And this is how you actually do it and make it compelling and make it fit with the scene and fit with just the whole vibe of intelligence and layers hidden underneath the surface and all that. It's really good. It's really sharply written. And then the characters are just, they're fun. You like them.
This might be one of my new favorite shows.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. What else are your favorite shows?
TV shows?
Yeah.
Schitt's Creek is probably one of them.
Hang on. So this is in like your top 10 or what?
Yeah.
That's what you're saying? Yeah, it's interesting, right? Because like I definitely wouldn't give it a perfect score because of all the reasons we've talked about, But at the end of the day, you just can't stop watching, and you just can't stop really enjoying it. Like again, like there's no, at least in terms of it just being a very tight sort of story, you can't say that it's tighter than something like White Lotus because it's maybe a little bit more ambitious in what it's trying to do.
But I still think it does such a good job.
But it's so much more fun, I feel like.
Well, it has so much more. There's so much more anxiety and suspense. The show is ballsy.
Okay, so Upshot, this is a good show, and it's Micah loves it. It's in her top 10 apparently.
Is it not for you?
Not sure yet. It might be. Just off the top of my head, I don't even know what that short list would look like. I'd have to consider all my options. Maybe that'll be an episode one day.
Are we wrapping up?
Yeah, I think so.
Brayden started a new channel.
Oh, yeah.
That I don't think we've talked about on here. He has a few episodes he has released.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the Venn diagram looks like for people that would be interested in this channel. Or sorry, the overlap of the Venn diagram. People that like this channel and the people that make it all the way to the end of these episodes that will actually hear this, who also happen to be interested in video games. But if there's anyone out there, I started a gaming channel. The gaming channel is called Brayden the Backlog Gamer, and we'll link it in the description of this video. It's basically just highly edited, typically no longer than like 13 minutes, but typically around like 5 to 8 minute range, where I just talk about a video game, I review it. It's heavily edited. There's a lot of jokes. They're just fun. They're just fun little reviews. So go check that channel out if that's something you're interested in. Check it out if not, and let me know what you think of it in the comments. If you hate it, say "fuck you" in the comments. Very Jackson Lamb, right, Micah?
Because all interaction is good interaction.
That's right. All pub. I'm having a strong. All publicity is good publicity. I've noticed this at work too. When I'm like trying to explain myself to my boss, all my thoughts, I start stuttering. I sound like a dumbass.
Are you developing a stutter?
I hope not.
Hmm.
I'll need to track it. Not that there's anything wrong with having a stutter. We have friends that have stutters, and it's totally fine.
Yeah, we're still friends with them.
Right? Yeah. Although it certainly tries our friendship for sure. Right?
Whatever.
No, I mean, no, I don't really care. But I've never had a stutter, so why start? You know. Well, thanks for watching.
Also coming up, we're gonna do season 2 and 3 of Slow Horses.
Yes.
And we're still trying to get around to the bear,
Oh
but
yeah, I keep forgetting.
I don't know.
The other thing is, I have finished all but one Sean Connery James Bond movie, and I was planning to talk about them today, but I don't think we have the time. So maybe I'll try and finish that last one. Although it is kind of it's not in sequence, so that's why I felt okay about talking about the ones I've seen. But maybe I'll talk about that next time.
And what's coming out?
What is coming out?
What's getting released?
Skong. All you Skong fans, Silk Song is coming out tomorrow at the time of recording. And I know exactly what's about to happen. Micah is about to take over the PC, and I'm never going to see it again.
Because we only have one computer.
And she is going to leave me to take care of our baby completely.
For a week.
As she plays Skong. But keep your eyes peeled for a review of Skong on that other channel. We're going to be talking about that for sure. I will be making a video on that for sure. Most likely within the next 3-ish weeks, depending on when I can actually finish the game.
Yeah, that's fair.
So stay tuned for all that stuff. Lots of exciting stuff. I'm very excited for Skong. Very excited. This is a good lineup of stuff that's coming out. We've got Skong next week. We've got Slow Horses Season 5 that's going to be coming out at the end of this year. The James Bond game is apparently coming out March 26th. Battlefield 6 is coming out in October. We're just eating good, Are there any stuff coming out that you're excited about?
Oh, the Coddle?
Yeah, there's a massive DLC releasing for Cult of the Lamb, which is one of Micah's favorite games. Maybe we'll do a video on that game on our other channel as well when that DLC drops. We can talk about that.
Aren't you excited that it's pumping? Aren't you excited? Oh my gosh.
Do you have a stutter?
Maybe. Aren't you excited that it's pumpkin spice season?
Yeah. What does that mean?
Yeah, that's something you're excited about.
Yeah, I love pumpkin spice season. I just love pumpkin season, Fall is the best season of all. All right, well, thanks for tuning in, everyone.
Bye.